I also visited, I got an opportunity to visit the Clark Cemetery in the Philippines, and I want to also thank the VFW and the other service organizations who have maintained the cemetery up to now. They've done an outstanding job, and again, the private funding that has come from our veterans over the years. I have a question for Mr. Walters. There's been a few instances in the past where individuals have highlighted concerns to the committee on specific sites or specific issues, and my constituents have come to me as well. For example, in one instance, a visitor observed a raise and realign where prune headstones appeared as though they had been run over by construction vehicles. The committee has largely found that NCA to be very responsive when contacted on these issues in the last few years. My question is, how do our constituents who visit national cemeteries raise concerns to NCA, and what actions are taken upon receiving those complaints or questions?
Yes, thank you for the question. We have a variety of forms through which those who visit our cemeteries can voice concerns, beginning with complaint logs that are maintained at the cemeteries. If an individual has a concern about something that he or she encountered, whether it be the physical appearance of the cemetery or the service that was received, they can record in the complaint log their observations. That complaint log is kept and it is reviewed through our Organizational Assessment and Improvement Program, and all of the complaints are followed up on in a timely manner. Of course, there are other ways to do it. We've received a variety of letters from individuals expressing concerns about specific issues at cemeteries, and we apply the same level of aggressive resolution to those complaints as well.
Do you respond to the individuals?
Oh, yes, sir. We respond to individual letters, absolutely. If not,
how long does it take? Is it on a timely basis? Give me an example. How
sure. I think it would depend on the nature of the complaint and how quickly we can resolve it. We usually try to put out an interim response at first, just say we're working on the issue. That usually goes out if we send one within a few days. And then the actual resolution can vary depending, again, on the nature of the issue. There was an issue recently at Riverside National Cemetery, for example, where we had contractors that were treating headstones and the grounds in a manner that was inconsistent with what we would regard as national shrines. This complaint came to us. We acted very aggressively. We corrected the situation, and in fact, we added language referred to as a dignity clause to all of our national shrine contracts, where contractors now have to be especially conscious of what they're doing at our grave sites to make sure they're honoring the dignity of the burials.
Thank you very much. I have one more question, Mr. Chairman. You testified, Mr. Walters, on the current NCA proposed rule and implementation of the Dignified Burial Act of 2012. It is my understanding that the National Funeral Directors Association expressed concern with one of the details of the proposed rule. Under previous rules, funeral homes were able to apply directly to the VA for partial reimbursement or other associated benefit. In their view, this allowed funeral homes to easily provide the veteran with a timely and dignified burial, and that's what I'm concerned about, the convenience for the family and, of course, for the veteran, without any concern about not being compensated for their services. Additionally, in situations without a next of kin, under the proposed rule, funeral directors would have to apply to become the authorized representative, which would add difficulty and additional cost to a process where funeral directors are trying to honor our nation's fallen heroes. Can you explain why NCA is not allowing funeral homes to apply directly to the VA? Were there any comments to this provision supporting or opposing this change during the public comment period? You know, I just don't want to delay the process for the families, and particularly when there's no next of kin. So if you can elaborate on that, I'd really appreciate it.
Yes, Congressman Bilirakis, the administration of that particular program falls under the Veterans Benefits Administration, so I would be happy to, for the record, provide a response. I will say that, the intent of the direct payment to the veteran was to do precisely what I thought you said toward the end of your comment, which is to make sure that the family, receives the money as quickly as possible and then to pay their expenses with it. I also know that under Secretary Hickey's leadership, the automation of burial claims has been put into place such that nearly half of them at this point are processed that way without human intervention, which then frees up staff time to perform other work. And the processing time for those burial claims has been reduced from a peak of 190 days in February of 2013 to 64 days in December of 2014. But again, sir, I will take your specific question.
My concern is there are a lot of local funeral homes, and they want to help out our families. I just don't want to delay the process and make it inconvenient for the families. Or if they don't have a next of kin, they can take care of it directly. So I appreciate very much, Mr. Chairman. Again, thank you for your service. We're going to miss you. Thank you.
Thank you.